guys, we watched Blade Runner 2049 too, because it's a great movie.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And also,
I enjoyed
informs some different things about the original when you look back after watching 2049.
I have a lot of Lars and the real girl jokes to go through. In fact, my title for this is Lars, the real girl, and the real job.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people made that connection. There's even like some IMDb trivia facts, like Ryan Gosling once appeared in the film Lars and the Real Girl, and he's got a fake girlfriend in this movie.
I mean, that's like really...
It's like, wow, great trivia.
That's
but then it'll be like a lot of thumbs up on it.
That's so stupid. It's really obvious, but...
Yep.
I'm still gonna make those jokes.
Shit, man. We got...
They're low-hanging fruit, but man...
Alright, Blade Runner 2049. I mentioned in the first Blade Runner podcast, this is my favorite movie of 2017.
I don't know. I can't tell you what movies I saw in 2017. But,
yeah. I'm usually not even a big sci-fi guy. I like horror more than sci-fi. And then I'm also one of those like jerks that likes like art house movies and pretentious shit. So sorry about that. But luckily, Blade Runner 2049 is the highest budget art film ever made. And even the director, Denis, said like, yeah, probably should have made it more commercial, but oh well, I made what I wanted to make.
I mean, it's not like Blade Runner, the original, was all that commercial.
No. Well,
Ridley Scott
said, I make entertainment, I don't make art. Well, he fucked up.
Well, first of all, it's not all... I mean, it's based on a Philip K. Dick novel, right? So I'm pretty sure Philip K. Dick would consider it somewhat art.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick, very well known for making commercial, pulpy entertainment stuff, right? Right in his wheelhouse. Oh shit, yeah, Blade Runner 2049 came out 2017. It's only got 8 stars on IMDb.
That's better than that.
I'm gonna like make a lot of like bot profiles, get that shit up to 10. It should be like number 1 on IMDb. Like, why is Shawshank Redemption still number 1?
Is it? Is it still fighting with The Godfather 2?
I think so.
Part 2.
Shawshank Redemption is a good movie, but I don't think it particularly stands out as like the best movie of all time.
Yeah, no.
Not even close. Oh well.
I'm actually gonna throw it out there at the beginning that I like Blade Runner the Final Cut better than Blade Runner 2049. Like 2049 is way better than the theatrical cut, but I like the Final Cut better than 2049.
I like the Final Cut.
I'll get into some of the problems I have with 2049, but there's some things that I just didn't like.
Oh, there's no problems in it, so you're wrong.
Well, first of all, my biggest problem with the Blade Runner originally is like the weird Jesus religious motifs they throw in at the end, and they kind of just carry that forward in this movie.
I guess. Well, it's sort of
But I mean,
religious.
It looks bad. It's really bad at the start, and then as it goes on, it's way less. I have less problem with it, but like, the way they handle it it's really well done. I just don't, you know.
I don't know. I think the religious like creation motifs that are in both make sense for what it is because it is about.
Yeah, I guess my problem is they're too heavy-handed with it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's 2 hours and 44 minutes long. It's a long movie.
Yeah, it's too long.
That was a lot of people's complaint when it came out. I don't care because, like I said, I do like slow, meditative art house movies.
I do too, but I still think it's like 20 minutes too long still.
I don't know, man. It seems perfect to me. They could.
I'll point on the parts that they can do some pairing.
Well, the original cut was about 4 hours long, and
I'd love to see that.
I'd like to see that. I'll just sit there and watch that. There's a Japanese movie that's 4.5 hours long that I love. It's
the Muppet movie, the Jason Segel Muppet movie had like a 3-hour cut too that I don't think they ever released. I'd love to see that.
That's just the passion of Jason Segel for Muppets. He's like, I'm gonna make a Muppets epic. So directed by Denis Villeneuve, who I mentioned in the last podcast. I think he's one of the best working modern directors. He basically hasn't made a bad movie yet. I think Sicario is his worst movie, and Sicario's close to being a masterpiece anyways. I just don't like it because I don't really care about that cartel shit. I fucking love Benicio del Toro.
Everyone loves Benicio del Toro.
And Emily Blunt and Josh Brolin, but I don't know. I just don't care about that cartel shit too much. I have a bunch of like cool little facts that I want to go through real quick before we get started.
Okay.
They're interesting. Wallace, who's played by Jared Leto, was gonna be David Bowie, but he died.
Oh god damn, that would have been so much better.
Yeah, he was sick.
Can I talk about Jared Leto for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
I'd
love to because I have a lot to say about Jared Leto.
Okay, fantastic. I don't know how. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't know how much time Harrison Ford spent on set with Jared Leto. I have to imagine it's very little because I can't imagine Harrison Ford wanting to put up with Jared Leto's bullshit. Um, Jared Leto is the type of actor that is perfectly good in what he does, but you can tell when he's on screen that he thinks he is fucking amazing. He's just not. He's not as good as he thinks he is.
I have the exact opposite opinion of Jared Leto.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep.
Oh, you're completely wrong. He's so fucking heavy-handed as Wallace in this.
So I was actually gonna point out how much I hate that the internet constantly shits on Jared Leto just based on his Joker performance in Suicide Squad, where everyone did a terrible job.
Yeah,
and
well, I mean,
all the press that came out about him staying in
okay,
character,
here's
everyone clown on about. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, I'll clown on Jared Leto for something else. You want to? Back when the Arab Spring was going on, I remember seeing Jared Leto on the fucking Oscars going, "We're with you. We know what it's like out there, and we're gonna protect you." And he's like, "I'm gonna go catch a ride back to Coachella."
Oh yeah, I don't think he's a cool dude. I just think he's a much better actor than anyone has been giving him credit for recently.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, man. I feel like this movie, like a lot.
I feel like he's like the worst kind. I don't know what his acting style is like. I don't read enough about Jared Leto, but my impression of him, he's like the worst method actor ever to work with.
Like I don't think he does method most of the time. He was
I'm gonna look
method
into
for
this.
Dallas Buyers Club and Suicide Squad, but I think that's about it.
I'm gonna look into it because I don't know. The only time I heard about his stupid method acting is in Joker. But whatever, and I never watched the Dallas Buyers Club. My impression of him is that he's a very intense method actor.
Oh no, I don't think that's the case. Not like Christian Bale or anything. I think it's just a few anomalies, and also a lot of people say that the press that they were giving Jared Leto for Suicide Squad for the things he was doing was completely overblown.
I'm gonna look into it. I feel like you're wrong.
Oh, maybe. Well, I feel like you're wrong, and you're just parroting the weird internet bullshit.
Well,
that
I
people
think you're
have
wrong
about
because
Jared
I'm
Leto.
not on the internet that much.
I don't know.
I form my own impression of Jared Leto.
I don't think he can carry a movie on his own. I do think he's really arrogant, especially in real life and the political things he pursues, and his band sucks. I don't think he's like a super cool guy or anything, but when he's on screen for like these little bits, it's like, okay, I like Jared Leto.
I didn't.
I don't know. I think, well, that's the thing is the character of Wallace that he's playing is supposed to be like a shitty.
Yeah.
I'm so spiritual. I'm spooky. Blah. He's like, Elon Musk, or you know what I mean, where they just have these lofty ideas about themselves, and they're just so arrogant about it. That's why he's wearing like fucking martial arts gi when you first see him.
Yeah, so
everything's made of wood.
Jared Leto as himself. You're saying that he has very high pretensions about himself.
Perhaps maybe that's why he's able to play the role so well.
I'm not saying he's bad at it. I'm just saying he's perfectly fine. I just think you can tell he thinks he's amazing every time he's on screen.
I guess. I don't know. Dallas Buyers Club. Just watching the Dallas Buyers Club. I mean, that's the Oscar speech you're talking about, where he said some crazy shit.
No, I don't think it was. I think he was doing something on like a side piece. I don't even think it was for his acceptance speech for Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I felt like it was, but maybe
could
not.
Be. I don't watch the Oscars that often, so maybe.
I think
still, it's fucking dumb. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard a celebrity say. Or you know what? To be fair, one of the stupidest things I've ever heard a celebrity say.
They oftentimes say weird shit. I'm not one of those people that celebrities shut your mouth, you can't have opinions, because there are well-informed celebrities. Yeah. Ben Affleck, George Clooney,
John Legend.
Yeah, but some of them are just kind of like pretentious assholes. And Jared Leto, absolutely, I think he is a pretentious asshole, but I also think sometimes he does a good job. And this is one of those times. I mean, he's playing a pretentious asshole, so it's not out of his wheelhouse. But I think he's good in this movie for what he does. The farm scene in the beginning with Sapper Morton, Batista, that was...
I do enjoy Batista every time I see him.
That was originally going to be in the original Blade Runner.
Oh, was it really?
Like a similar scene anyways.
Oh, okay.
But they're like, no, let's do it now.
Didn't they do... I was trying to look up some information about Blade Runner after I read it. Didn't they do like a short film with Batista?
Yeah, they did 3 shorts for the period in between Blade Runner.
Shit, right?
Well, yeah, they're all animated.
Are they all animated?
Yeah.
Batista?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a real film.
Maybe his is. I don't know. I watched the one that's directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, the Blackout one. Yeah, which
I didn't see him, but
he did Animatrix. He's got a good eye for like style animation, but there's not too much going on in it.
I guess it's part of the. I remember watching the Animatrix ones too, having the same problem. Like, there's not a lot of story here.
Yeah, I mean, anime is like it's usually the story doesn't.
It's like
Who
take second
cares?
fiddle to everything.
Yeah, and
But
then all the characters always just say exactly what they're feeling, and
that's true. But at the
except
same
for
time,
Akira.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is like you're doing like a spiritual sequel or prequel to like The Matrix, which is a story based movie. You know, maybe put a little more effort into it. I guess is my point.
Yeah, I think Denis just liked the Animatrix and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you want to animate something cool?"
Do something
I was
cool.
like, "Oh, okay." So the director of photography in this movie is Roger Deakins, who is the man that's the director of photography for my favorite film of all time, Assassination of Jesse James. Works a lot with the Coen brothers. If you look at his filmography, he's like the greatest living cinematographer of all time.
If you love him so much, why don't you marry him?
Well, he got finally his first Oscar for this movie.
Yeah.
So thanks, Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in your notes, but I noticed when I was watching it. There's some miniature work in here, miniatures and CG.
Oh yeah,
They're a little too heavy-handed with the CG. I thought you used the term heavy-handed too much already. I'm a little heavy-handed with my use of heavy-handed. But they use the CG a little too much for my taste. But I really like the miniature work.
I think it's integrated well because it's usually just for short little bits, so it's not like a major focus of the scene.
Yeah, it's just a couple times when like Officer K's and his police cruiser flying through the air, and I'm like, it's a little too perfect.
Yeah, I just don't really know what else they would do.
I know.
Because even in the original Blade Runner, it's not necessarily exactly CG, but it is just like a photograph model being used over another landscape, so it's still, I don't know what else you do for that. Originally, soundtrack was going to be done by Johan Johansson, who's a great, like, sort of industrial, synthetic composer. He's dead now. He passed away recently, but last film he did was Mandy. That's right. But he wasn't able to do Blade Runner 2049, so we got Hans Zimmer's attempt to make an industrial synthesized soundtrack, which is not bad, but
he does okay. The soundtrack is definitely inferior.
I think it's the weak point in the film to me. I do like some of like just the noisy shit he does in it, but I don't know. I just like I don't want like big drums and like big epic sounds in Blade Runner necessarily. And that's all Hans Zimmer does, really. But he didn't do a bad job. It's alright. Jared Leto specifically said he was trying to mimic people he knows from the tech industry that are arrogant and top of the food chain sort of thing. So, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, fellas like this, he's specifically trying to mimic how they are. He's friends with them too, so.
I don't believe that Mark Zuckerberg is friends with anybody.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying necessarily those specific men, but people like them.
Yeah.
The people he's familiar with, which I think he comes across. So, most expensive art house film, that's a quote from Denis. Rachel also means
Didn't
you.
George Lucas call Star Wars the most expensive art house film too?
Yeah, that's bullshit, though. That was the most expensive toy commercial ever made. Surprisingly, it's made by Sony.
Sony Pictures?
That's right, they make terrible movies. What happened?
Every once in a while, one slips through. They got Into the Spider-Verse somehow.
Yeah, those are just like some, interesting things. That's about it. We'll get into it more as we go along, but fucking...
Wait, when we get into it right now. Opening scroll.
Mm-hmm.
I knew these motherfuckers would go bankrupt. Tyrell Corporation, you pieces of shit. You can't have your creations kill a bunch of people and go crazy and still survive as a company.
Yeah, but then they just let someone else take over.
Well, that's how it always works, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they're like, you know what? We still need replicants, so this guy can try.
This replicant can take over. Nexus 8's the fuck? Nexus 6's in Blade Runner is supposed to be the top of the line, right? Mm-hmm. When from the way the movie is presented, it seems like Tyrell Corporation goes bankrupt very shortly after Blade Runner.
No.
So where are all these Nexus 8s from?
The Tyrell Corporation. They don't go bankrupt until after 2022 when the big blackout happens.
Yeah, but it's 2019, so it's only 2 years. You're telling me they've gone through 2 Nexus models and...
How many fucking iPhones are released every couple years?
I guess, but I don't know.
And they might
There's
skip.
one, but
They
it
might
would
have
be
skipped right to 8
you would
instead of
then
7.
you would have the Nexus 6S and the Nexus 7 and the Nexus. Oh, by the way, Google's phones were called Nexuses. Are they
Yeah.
still called Nexuses?
I don't know. I don't know if Google makes like their own phones anymore.
So they take it off of. I don't know. I should have asked this in the Blade Runner. Did they take this from Blade Runner?
Maybe.
The Nexus idea?
Oh, shit, man.
Google.
Maybe.
Do no evil, my ass.
But yeah, no, I think maybe they even skipped over 7 and went right to 8.
Right to 8.
Yeah, which that shit corporations do. Xbox One.
Are we supposed to assume that Rachel was a 6 though? From what we understand.
Presumably, we don't know. She seems to have been like a unique experiment with the replicants.
She's actually kind of the precursor to the Officer K and his people. Because they all have false memories, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they try to make them more
human.
You know. I guess presumably the idea is if they're more human, then they're more likely to be subservient or not act out of line.
Doesn't
but
seem to track.
Yeah, like wouldn't they be like, well, no, I know what it's like to feel human. I am human. Why do I suffer when other humans don't? You know. Whatever. They made mistakes. Not the movie, I mean, but these fucking people making replicants. Oh yeah, Rachel's a unique replicant, as we're about to find out. I don't think she's Nexus 6, 7, 8 made by Wallace or
Well, she's obviously not made by Wallace.
Yeah, she's
made by Dr. Tyrell.
Specifically, Dr. Tyrell's pet project, I believe. But shit, man, I think the Skrull's way better than the first one. It's just real simple, oh, let me catch you up. Okay, cool, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I generally just don't like opening Skrulls in any movie besides Star Wars.
We start off with the big opening. It's it's actually tweaked motorcycle sound. You'll hear it more. It's like a dirt bike engine. I think the opening is a little bit. It's not as cool as seeing the Los Angeles landscape with flames shooting out of it, but I do think it's interesting that we're just focusing on Kay's eye in the beginning because replicants have the right eye with their serial number on it. I feel like it's an immediate indication that this is going to be more personal to our protagonist than Blade Runner is. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more affiliated with him, which is the case. And then he's flying his cool ass flying car, and you get super retro displays, which I like because obviously the future of Blade Runner did not happen. We're in 2019 now, and nothing's like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
So when they get to 2049 at this point, it's we're establishing this as an alternate future.
Yeah.
This is an alternate world. So it's still technology that's reminiscent of Blade Runner 2019, but wouldn't be relevant to what our potential 2049 is going to be.
I like when they go back and they're looking at the old Tyrell Corporation, the old technology, and it still has the vector wave look to it. I feel like a less competent director would have updated all that shit.
Yeah, which would have it would have been dumb. Blade Runner 2019 doesn't look like our 2019. Why would 2049 look like our potential 2049? He's out here flying in the farmland.
Drax the farmer.
Yeah, they don't specify where he's at, but just based on the geography of California, I mean, he's probably in the Sacramento River Basin, right?
That's where the farming would be. Central Valley.
Yeah, maybe because he's not that far from LA, but we don't know the extent of what LA is in this future because it seems to be one big megalopolis.
Isn't Deckard still technically in LA when we see him?
No, he's just in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah. But yeah, fucking Drax is out here. He's farming and stuff. Farming worms. Protein farm.
Yeah, I believe there was some comics where Drax was a farmer, but I don't believe it was worms. I think in the Annihilation you ever read the Annihilation comics? I think the Drax series that takes place in there, he starts off as a farmer. I have to go back and read it. It's been 20 years. I guess not 20. 10. We'll say 10.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, there's a cool shot of Drax in his little farm, his little greenhouse of worms, and you see Ryan Gosling's car flying over, and he's just oh shit.
Policemen.
Yeah, I was oh man, this movie's so fun to look at. Even because this opening part is really gray, and I usually hate monochromatic stuff in films, but it works well with the environment they're in, and fucking Denise still makes it interesting, It's not just here's some gray shit with people talking. Gosling, we get to see him for the first time, fucking, here he is, this is our hero, he's stepping on his car, and it's damn, that motherfucker can wear a coat. Like every movie he's in, he's just got like, yo, check out my dynamic coat.
Let me point out that how well Harrison Ford wore that coat in Blade Runner.
Yeah, but I mean, Gosling's also got like Drive, where he's got that scorpion coat, and also even when he just has a denim jacket on it, you're just like, wow, Gosling can wear a coat, huh?
I mean, I feel like they cast the perfect guy though for it, because you think about Harrison Ford and his coats. Indiana Jones, Han Solo has a coat.
Yeah, he's got a vest.
No, he has a coat.
A waistcoat. Oh no, he does have a coat too. Yeah. Whoa.
Harrison Ford wear a coat.
I think Gosling was a good choice for the follow-up for Harrison too, because he, I feel like Ryan Gosling's famous for his real life charisma, and then when he acts, he tries to act with his eyes, and he's a subtle actor, but a lot of times he does come across as kind of robotic.
He starts off in this movie like I think you said obtuse in the last movie when we talked about Brandon. He starts off very obtuse.
Yeah.
But as the movie goes on, his emotions start to come. It's really well. He does a really good job.
No, he does an amazing job in this movie. And like, there's a lot of people like, oh, Gosling can't act. It's like, yeah, he can. It's just like he's not bombastic about it. And he's been in a lot of movies where he is just like a silent hero sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, even like how Lars and the Real Girl, just to make that reference.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar obtuse feeling. He's kind of a weird dude.
Yeah, but then the reveal, so Gosling steps in to the house. He's like looking around, checking stuff, and oh shit, it's Batista. Get out of there, Ryan Gosling. You can't take this man. He's like, well, what are you doing here? He's like, fucking protein farm. Check out my worms. You want some?
Or you want some garlic?
Yeah.
I grow that just for me. It's good for the heart. Little picker.
Yeah. Garlic's just for me. Gosling has or Agent K. Not Agent K, but K. I'm gonna call him Agent K.
Agent K. Detective K? Officer K?
Officer K. He's got a cool line here. It's also a similar line to something that's said in Deer Hunter by, the guy...
Gene Hackman?
No, fucking... Man, I can't remember his name.
Christopher Walken.
Yep, Christopher Walken. He has a similar line in Deer Hunter, but he's like, prefer to keep an empty stomach until the day's work is done. But
You're talking to my man.
I always really like that line in Deer Hunter and this because I don't know, I find it relatable. Like I'd like to not eat until I'm like done doing shit. I don't know why. It's just some weird proclivity I have. But Gosling's like he flashes him his piece. He's like, well, look at this big ass gun I have.
If I can take you in.
Yeah,
that's what I'll do.
And he takes off his glasses and you're like, oh shit, Batista's gonna kill this guy.
Well, nice knowing you, Gosling.
But fucking this fight's dope. I especially love that it's only like 30 seconds long. Really, the actual like conflict, like a real fight. It's cool that Kay is also a replicant, so that he can actually just fight these replicants instead of just like Batista caving in Harrison Ford's head.
Harrison Ford fought some replicants and.
I mean, he got beat up by replicants or ran away from them.
I mean, we'll get to it later on, but there's still the question: is Deckard a leprechaun at the end of this movie?
Yes, I mean, yeah, it's still there. I like that Gosling after he like hits him in the throat, he's like, "Please don't get up." And then we learn later on, like, Batista probably let him win. His character probably let him win because he would have just. That's what he does, man. He tears shit up. It's like a really subtle thing, but like when they bust through the wall, like fighting each other, it shakes the camera. I like that it shows like the impact of the force of how they're fighting. But yeah, he punches him in the throat. Batista's like, man, this sucks. Can't breathe. He scans his eye, to see if that replicant serial
Get that serial number.
It's like, all right, yeah, you're who I'm looking for. Shoots him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you do when to rogue replicants.
He's like, all right, I did it. He goes back to his car. Well, he takes the eyeball too. He gets his eye. He's got a little evidence baggie. He goes back to his car and holy shit, it's Jen A. Jen A. Robin Wright pen.
I wrote more Jesus shit, Madam President, because she's Claire Underwood and.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
House of Cards.
Yeah, I never watched that shit. I remember one time when I went to a friend's house and they were watching it, and it was like Kevin, what's the Spacey? He's doing like Ferris Bueller shit to the camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not watching this shit.
Like the first 3 seasons are okay, but
yeah.
After that,
I don't know. I just don't like that. I'm still on TV shows. I'm like, I don't know. It's not ever.
Shockingly, it's based off of a British novel about their politics, which then became a British television show was a limited series.
Oh.
And then they decided to make 6 seasons out of it.
Well, they decided to make motherfucking money?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, no, it's Jen, eh? From Forrest Gump. Looking a little bit older now. Robin Wright then. I guess it's Robin Wright now, right?
Yeah, I don't believe she kept the pen.
I don't know. She's cooler. She does a great job in this movie.
She does a good job in everything, though.
Yeah, I fucking love her. There's some really cool synth here. So thanks Hans Zimmer while he's mapping out the tree.
Oh,
it's like all sad and like.
There's the part after this where they're doing like the landscape of L.A. Where I wrote soundtrack not as good.
Yeah. This is gonna be like right after this.
Yeah.
So he sees. Oh man, there's something buried under that tree.
There's a flower. He sees a flower first, right?
And the date.
No, you see the date comes later.
Oh yeah, you're right. He sees the flower. He goes to check it out.
And then he scans the
Like,
tree.
huh.
He's like 30 feet down. Drone robot.
Yeah, and do you notice the drone robot cuts out like a perfect square? I thought that was cool. I want a drone robot that can do things super symmetrically. But yeah, he's like, all right, I guess take this ossuary home. He doesn't know it's an ossuary yet. But now here's where we get. Oh shit, it's L.A.
Yeah.
The landscape shit here is really cool, but yeah, the soundtrack just doesn't hit that high note. But what I really like about what they did for this LA landscape is you can see like all the like major streets and alleyways because there's like neon lights cracking out of them because there's all the signs and shit down there. I just thought that was an interesting touch. So great job, special effects guys. Oh, this is the first time we really hear that motorcycle engine rev, which is like, and you're like, oh my god, what's going on?
Well, this is also we're introduced to like the new Void Conf kind of test.
I really like
the
it.
mental programming, so hot.
To see if they're baseline.
Yeah.
And I like it because it is really fucking intense.
Mm-hmm. Together. Why don't you repeat that 3 times?
Yeah. Oh my god. But
yeah. What if I don't want to, motherfucker?
He can't. He's a replicant. He's a goddamn skin job. And you see him.
Yeah, there's a lot of like geneticism. What skin job?
Yeah, one of the officers like tries to like scare him. He gets scared.
Yeah, go ahead and fight that guy.
Well, yeah, I mean he'll fuck you up, but then he'll just be killed. But you know, fucking, he's baseline right now. He's doing his thing, doing his job. He's like, good to see you, madam. That's what he calls Robin Wright.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, good job killing that fool. You'll get a bonus. And I wonder.
But I'm not gonna pay for your fucking healthcare.
Yeah.
Typical government work.
I'll just glue it.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, that makes sense. He's a replicant.
They show him gluing it too.
He's
a replicant, but he's not. He's still a man.
Well, I mean, yeah, replicants are seemingly biological creatures. It's going to be reinforced in this film.
Yeah.
But what's the replicant going to spend money on anyways?
His real girl.
Joy. He gets the bonus. He's like, oh, thanks. She's like trying to drink with them. Like, hey, you want some drink? He's like, oh, no, I got to get home tomorrow.
Get a little bit more heavy-handed later on too.
Yeah. So he does go home, and it's cool because they introduce. He's got this shitty little box apartment, that a lot of people are used to living in now. But I do like that. Joy is just a disembodied voice at first, so you presume that, like, oh, maybe he's got a replicant girlfriend, or
Yeah, I kind of figured it out pretty early in that scene.
Yeah, but it was interesting. So he like grabs 2 glasses, like he's gonna pour 2 vodkas.
He does pour 2 vodkas.
Yeah, but
it takes them from both himself.
Like, okay, but then we see a little contraption on the roof, and Joy pops up, and she tells him some song facts about the song that's playing.
Do you remember the first time? This is like reminds me of a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. You remember it? Eraser.
Oh yeah.
With it's a very similar story too, with clones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his buddy, his detective partner, I think it's Michael Rappaport. He has like a robot wife or a hologram wife, and that's as soon as she popped up, I'm like, oh, Racer.
Yeah. So what I like about this though is so in Blade Runner, Harrison Ford is just a saddle detective. You don't really know why. He just whatever.
Like all saddle detectives.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a reason.
Yeah, but in this movie, this is great character development. Like, my note says, oh, damn, he's sad as me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's just, like, lonely, and you can see he's, like, trying to find some connection, but he can't because he's a replicant. And it's also, since this movie's about identity and what's real. There's also a lot of stuff that gets played in with her being an artificial intelligence and what's the reality of her love for him. Well, that shit's way more interesting than most of Blade Runner.
Yeah, I guess there's too much of this. Like, I feel like they could have pared down a lot of the joy stuff and still kept the sentimentality of it. I just think they spend too much time with Joy and Gossip establishing his relationship.
Ooh, I
Also,
don't
he
know
falls
because there's important stuff.
he falls for some obvious consumer bullshit here, and she's like, oh, "I'm so sick of being trapped up inside this house. Oh, I wish I could go out and be free. My artificial intelligence isn't certainly telling you that I need you to go buy some really expensive edition so that I can hang around with you all the time."
Oh, so you're of the mind that she is just simply a product.
No, I mean it's both, but she's clearly pushing some consumerism on him, right?
I mean, we don't know. I don't think it's clearly defined one or the other. Actually, I personally happen to fall on the idea that she.
You think that a program, an AI created by the Wallace Corporation, is wholly capable of love?
Um, I do, and I think there's some evidence for it as we get further into the movie. You might be right. She might also have still.
I'm just saying that.
Well, just like she
I'm
gave.
saying it's both. I'm
Well,
saying
yeah.
that she is capable of love, but she is still programmed.
Well, yeah, just like
she's not a replicant. She is a computer program.
yeah, but she.
And she's really pushing him to get this expensive edition so she can walk around town, and he
Well,
spends
we
his money
don't know
for it.
that because he already has it for their anniversary.
When she comes in, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sick of being cooped up in the house all the time. I wish I can go out and see things." That was like her exact dialogue.
Yeah, but maybe that's just her wanting to be more real.
Maybe, but it also she just plopped down a bunch of money to the Wallace Corporation to buy this. I mean, you're very cynical about corporations in the real world. Why aren't you cynical about the crazy?
Oh no, I
corporations
think she probably is like she's still got commercials and products that she's pushing and shit. But
and they show it later on. Like they even say like after like we're jumping way ahead, but after Joy has died, he's walking past a Joy advertisement, and the hologram walks up to him and is like, "You're a very special boy."
He calls him Joe.
Yeah, you're
good Joe.
You're a good Joe.
And then
so yeah,
the advertisement says everything you wanted to hear, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thing. Like I think that maybe she is fully capable of love, but it's also not like a real relationship. She's still a product.
Mm.
It's like being in love with your iPhone or your computer or I don't know or your PlayStation. The people have put too much attachment to something that isn't necessarily.
I agree with that, and I do think some of her programming still is coming through. So maybe she is promoting products, just like when she gave the song facts, as if she was reading off Spotify shit.
That was weird. Right? She pulled
Wikipedia facts. But I do think because of what the themes this movie has, what this movie's about, I do think there is a lot of evidence that it's her becoming self-aware and moving beyond being just the initial product he purchased.
I mean, it feels weird to me to try to shoehorn like the her plot into the subplot of.
I don't think they're shoehorning the plot of her into it at all. I think it's to reinforce the idea of what identity is for the replicants. And then you'll see later on when one of the replicants talks down to her for being AI, like how racism you kick down in the United States to establish yourself. And I think there's parallels to it, and it has to do with the cascading effect of what identity is or reaching singularity sort of thing. I think there's a deeper thing to it other than just like, yeah, here's some product and you can't trust anything she says because we'll get to it. There's stuff that happens where it's like,
you can go either way with it, but at the same time, like it's still a product and it's still from the Wallace Corporation. I mean, like you can't. It's not wholly. It's not like it's not like a replicant that at some point can break from its programming.
Why not?
Because it's ones and zeros, man. I can go in there and change the zero, and it's going to be a completely different program.
But the whole thing is it's AI, though. What if it is, like, self-aware?
We don't know that it's artificial intelligence, though.
I
guess that's a presumption, right?
And everyone says, they do specifically refer to it as being an AI girl.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just the thing that bothers me is it doesn't present itself wholly like an AI to me, like an artificial intelligence.
All
It
right.
looks too much like
So
it's too much like a product.
I think they have evidence for both possibilities in the movie, and I think it's specifically kind of obfuscated, like so you don't know one way or the other. I happen to actually think just because of my personal attitudes about the film and what I think it means, like what I think the purpose of the film is, because I don't think this is just some dumb commercial product that's
well,
like.
I mean, obviously it's not.
I think it is about identity, what it means to be an individual, what do we consider human, that sort of thing. And I think them incorporating the AI character into it is just so another level of you seeing what
Right.
individuality is. Because, yeah, we see the giant joy that's advertised later on, but she doesn't speak like his joy. She's clearly just saying like program lines as an advertisement, you know, and she's super sexualized, which his joy isn't.
But again, once you get the joy, it's going to do what you want it to do. It's going
I
to
guess
tell you what
it'll
you want it to
learn
hear,
behavior,
right?
possibly, but
So like my joy might be very demure and shy, but someone else's might be like outgoing and
yeah, and overly sexualized, depending on
yeah.
what you want. Well, I mean, we'll get into it later on because I do think there's some evidence to show that his joy is at least not doing exactly what he wants. It seems to have his joy seems to have agency of its own.
Yeah, I mean to a certain extent, but also too you have to wonder how much of that is programmed into it, right?
Well, we'll get to it. There's one specific thing where I think kind of really influences the idea that it's not just operating off programming.
Are we talking about the antenna scene or?
Yeah, when she's trying to wake him up after it crashes, there's no reason for her to do that if he, the owner, is not conscious enough to interact with it. I think that's, I don't know, I think it's a pretty big thing. But yeah, happy anniversary. He does get this expensive product so she can be mobile. She's a mobile AI now, which I mean, it seems like that'd be what you would want the original design to be, anyways. But I guess maybe the technology
Yeah, it
wasn't
wasn't there.
there. That sort of thing.
It's just like when you got your Genesis and you have to get your Sega CD.
Yeah.
And then you got your 32X.
Yeah, just attachments
Oh,
to.
well, they had that Sega modem thing too. The Sega channel.
Yeah, for Dreamcast, right?
No, it was for Sega Genesis.
Oh, Dreamcast was the first console that just had it.
Yeah.
Even though like
I think it just had it.
There's nothing there to do really. But yeah, happy anniversary. My note says I love this movie. It's so great when they go to the roof and you can see the rain like passing through it, kind of. I'm just like, oh, Danny, you really did it. I'm feeling it. And then so they're having like a romantic scene, but it's still AI.
And then it freezes.
Yeah. And when I saw this movie in theaters for the second or third time, so first of all, I'm not someone who really goes to movies anymore, but I did see Blade Runner I think 4 times in theaters when it came out because I really fucking like this movie and it's so fucking good, like in theaters with like a huge sound system and a big screen. It's fucking intense. Like there's parts of the soundtrack that would like scare me because I was like not ready for it. But when I did see it, whatever time I did it with my friend, when she froze, like my friend like kind of giggled, but then like thought about it and I was like, "Aw, that's kind of sad."
I mean, it's both funny and sad.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I was straight up like, "Man, you're like a fucking Apple fanboy in love with your product."
Well, do you have those same feelings about her?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's an element of her too, but I do think. I mean, I guess we argue about her for a while too. But I guess I have a more optimistic view about what AI could be.
I don't.
Or just what human relationships.
I guess I just don't expect AI to actually get to that. I don't think AI actually will get to that point that everybody's afraid of.
You don't?
I do not. But I'm not a computer scientist, so.
Oh no,
From what I've read, I think it's going to be really hard to turn that corner. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think. Well, my thinking is, we're not going to be the ones to make it happen.
Oh, I mean, I won't be alive for it if it happens.
When I mean humans in general, I think the AI itself.
You think the computer itself will create it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's see. Yeah, he's interrupted because Robin Wright's like, yeah, we checked out that box. It's an ossuary. Got some bones.
I feel like he should have called her mom the entire time. I think that would have been
like ma'am, but how English will say.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like mom.
But like, she's about 30 years old, died in childbirth. Got these bones here. You want to come check them out?
Let's go with
Sure.
Some lady bones.
And he gets there, and who's waiting for him? It's fucking the Joker's henchman from The Dark Knight. This dude was also in Prisoners, so I'm guessing like Denis just like likes this guy.
How long? When did you figure out this was Rachel's body?
I like
Right away.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be Rachel.
Rachel's having a baby.
Yeah.
Actually, as soon as Dave Bautista said, "You've never seen a miracle," I'm like, did someone have a baby? Did a replicant have a baby?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Oh, I also like how the replicants have like a confused version of religion. It's based off of like the Christian canon, but it's kind of like what, you know?
And then even in Blade Runner, like we got like you see all the replicants have like a confused view of like humanity and what it's like to be man. Like,
yeah.
This is what fear feels like. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know fear. Yeah, like mortal fear. Oh, you're in mortal fear now. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, Kay's actually gonna say something kind of goofy in a second too. That I saw a lot of people on the internet hated it because they're like, why would they put religion in the Blade Runner? It's like, all right, first of all, you fucking missed the point of Blade Runner, I guess.
Well, I mean, did you not see Rutger Hauer shove a nail in his hand?
And then also, Kay says
maybe the religious stuff wasn't heavy-handed enough.
Yeah. Well, also Kay says this line because it's supposed to show his naivete. I think
he's never killed anything.
I've never killed anything that has a soul, or I've never killed anything that's been born before. It's like, what difference does it make? Well, to be born is to have a soul. It's like, how childlike.
But he is a child.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got to be a few years old, right?
Yeah. Or is he a replicant? Sorry.
As far as we know right now, he's a replicant. He's pretty tough, too. So they, after that, he's like, well, I gotta go talk to Wallace, or let's go see the records for these replicants, see what this is about. I got a serial number. Oh, he's the one who found it, too.
There's some, we gotta throw some political bullshit in here real quick.
Okay.
Robin Wright, talks about the theoretical wall.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with some real wall bullshit.
Yeah, the walls can't come down. The replicants can't know that they can also have babies and then be equal. This is fucking bullshit. We gotta protect this shit.
We gotta keep that wall up.
We gotta protect this shit. This is our shit. We came here and made this our shit. We gonna need this garbage. It's our garbage. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh no! First, before he goes to Wallace, doesn't he talk to Gaff?
Oh no, not yet.
Yeah, he does. I think he does. Yeah, he absolutely does. Because in my notes, it's before.
No, because he has to go find out about Rachel first.
Oh wow! Yeah. Why are my notes so weird then? Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, so he finds the serial number on one of her bones, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And they're all like, "Oh shit! There's a fucking replicant have a baby. What the fuck?" And he's like, "Well, we'll go talk to Wallace, see if they know anything about this serial number." I think it looks like Wallace's like giant building is built on top of the pyramid that Tyrell had.
Yeah,
it seems like.
What's his replicant's name? Love.
Love, yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
she's fucking intense.
She basically calls out that Joy's a product and that that Officer K should be really leery of carrying her around if he wants to avoid Wallace's attention.
You think so?
Yeah, she's like, oh, you enjoy our products. And then later on, it's revealed that she's been tracking him the entire time through the artificial intelligence.
No, she goes to the police station and tracks him
after he breaks the antenna on Joy.
Oh, word, yeah. I think she's just doing her job at this point. She's not. She doesn't realize what they're into.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I know. But it's like a cue to the audience that hey, Wallace is gonna be in up on this shit.
Anyways, he goes to this weird, creepy bald guy who works at Wallace, and he's like, I have hair. Meaning he has got a hair sample from Rachel. He mentions, like, might be one of these old pleasure models, like Pris. But, so the problem is...
a lot of these old blackout. Yeah, the blackout's a good excuse for detective work.
Which is good, because he's playing a detective. In the original Blade Runner, didn't do much detective shit.
Decker did some detective shit.
I don't know. I like this movie more, or that aspect of this movie more than the original Blade Runner because it does actually seem like a detective story.
Yeah, and actually the structure of the movie, it's like almost like a kung fu movie, the old tower structure, but instead of fighting a bunch of different people, he just goes through a bunch of different weird interviews until he gets to the final boss, which is Deckard.
Yeah, that's true. So everything was on drives, but the magnetic drives got wiped. There's the EMP blackout that fucked everything else up. So they don't have records of a lot of replicants that existed. So they don't know who the fuck this is. Love shows up though. looking badass.
He's like, surely we have more information.
She's just like fucking the coolest character in this movie. I really like Love. She's interesting as well.
I feel like Love at this point knows that something's up because she specifically
goes in to talk to
him because this record of Rachel came up. So I feel like Wallace has been on the lookout for Rachel for a long
Wallace
time.
wants to create replicants that can breathe. So
he knows that Rachel is capable of breeding, I think.
Maybe.
It seems like he already is aware that she had a child or was capable of having a child.
That's true. Well, yeah, Love specifically interrupts her meeting to go.
Right.
She's gone. But it's also could just be that he's a Blade Runner.
I don't know. I feel like at this point it's kind of clear that Wallace knows more than he should.
I guess I was just trying not to jump ahead too much. But yeah, Wallace does know there's something. Tyrell, he somehow knows that Tyrell was able to make replicants that could breed at one point, and he's on the lookout for it.
And I feel like, we're going to talk about the movie, so why not? I don't have to go to that part, but I feel like this is a clue already that Wallace is in on it.
As soon as Love shows up, though, I just want to talk about the costume design in this movie. Fucking everyone looks dope as shit all the time. Like, Love has, like, some of the cutest outfits I've ever seen. Joy's looking cool all the time. I don't know about that plastic jacket she wears, though. It just seems like it would be so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. But it's not about looks, it's fashion. Also, she's an AI.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for Ana de Armas, the actress, like, who had to film this scenes, like, just imagine how sweaty it was in that jacket. It's not like it breathes.
It can't be worse than, like, those foam rubber costumes you have to wear when you're, like, the Thing in Fantastic Four, and you're Michael Chiklis with the air conditioner shoved up your ass.
That's true. This part also has kind of, like, a Mortal Kombat soundtrack vibe to it. It's not as like not as like housey, but it's in there a little bit. We see that Love is super strong. She's like, fuck this door.
Well, it's a replica. She's a replicant.
They have the weirdest disc drive I've ever seen. It's like these weird disc balls. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like fucking some shit. But I think the more interesting part of this scene is, well, first of all, the actress that plays Love, her accent comes through a little bit when she's talking to him. But she specifically is like, oh, people like to have personal questions asked of them. It makes them feel important and valuable and blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, she's like, clearly read How to Win Friends.
But then she's like, do you like your work, okay? And it's like, oh, she likes him. She thinks he's cute, which I think is an interesting parallel to Deckard's first interaction with Rachel. Yeah. Even though I don't think they conveyed it very well in Blade Runner, that they had some chemistry. But I feel like this is a parallel to that. And it's actually, there is like some tension.
That's the one thing in this movie that kind of bothers me. I feel like it's built on a romance between Deckard and Rachel that Blade Runner didn't necessarily convey.
Yeah, but I think that's a fault of the original Blade Runner, not this movie.
Is it? Because I don't know that the original Blade Runner was supposed to be a romance tale about Rachel and Deckard.
Well, that's how a lot of people felt it was at the time, and have continued to felt.
Well, I mean, some of it with the narration and shit, but the final cut, I don't think portrays that.
But yeah, that's just because their relationship is weird as shit without bullshit narration telling you they're in love and stuff. But now here's where you go to see Edward James Olmos, who's still pretty spooky. He's a spooky guy.
He drops a bunch of hints that Deckard's a replicant. He's like, I don't think he was long for this world. Something in the eyes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and also, he's been retired.
Yeah, and then when they're talking about Rachel, and he's still doing origami, he makes a U, which is what Rachel means in Yiddish. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, he knows what's up. Because I'm telling you, he's like fucking...
I'm still not convinced he's not a replicant.
I think he's a trickster god or something. They don't get too much into mythology in the Blade Runner universe, but this guy, his character, Gaff is like, I don't know, he just seems to know shit. I guess he's like the best detective of all time.
Yeah, fuck Deckard.
My note says here, oh shit, here comes Leto, because I fucking really like him in this movie.
My note says fucking Jared Leto as himself.
Yeah, a little bit. The set's amazing though, huh?
Oh, it's a cool set.
Yeah, you notice everything's made of wood?
Wood?
Yeah, because trees barely exist. Yeah. So look how rich this motherfucker is. He's got even a little wood box for his ability to see stuff. I guess talking about how Jared Leto's method or whatever, he did wear blind contacts to film this movie and hung out with blind people to get the mannerisms right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
But fucking Daniel Day-Lewis does that shit too.
I don't know.
Christian Bale does that shit.
Yeah.
I think experiencing something you're trying to act is a great tool for acting.
Maybe, but some actors, I mean, there's plenty of great actors that don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, who cares? Matt Damon, he's not interesting. Liam Neeson, he hasn't
Harrison
made a
Ford's
good movie in
interesting though,
years.
right? And he doesn't do that shit.
He's just charismatic. He's not a good actor. He's just a cool dude. He's just charismatic.
I feel like Liam Neeson doesn't do that shit. He's still good in his roles. What about like Peter O'Toole? He wasn't a method actor.
Yeah, okay. Everyone from that generation are gonna not be amazing actors either. They're all just gonna be charismatic dudes. Because especially for male actors, like.
Okay, what about Ryan Gosling? He doesn't fucking method acting for this movie.
We don't know what he did. I actually don't know.
I'll look at his preparation. I don't think he's.
I don't think he did very much. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he doesn't really.
I'm like even someone like Heath Ledger was like kind of a method actor, but he's like people like Giovanni Ribisi and Jared Leto. They take this shit too far. Like if you're on the street corner pretending to be mentally handicapped to the point where someone is helping you, you have a fucking problem.
Yeah, that's true. Giovanni Ribisi is a Scientologist though, so that explains his problems. He's also Beck's brother-in-law. Leto's character, whilst he's got these flying dookie machines that help him see.
Yeah.
They look like little dookie balls. They're probably made of wood too, motherfucker. Oh, I need these good angels. I need baby making angels. I just got it, and I really like when the replicant drops out of like the Ziploc bag sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's shot really well. The way I described it is as if I'm cutting it down, but no, I think it looks really great.
I mean, I think it's supposed to evoke that image of like something coming out of a Ziploc bag. It's supposed to be like birth, but also like science and industrial and consumery.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me wonder if that's how replicants are actually born.
Well, seemingly this is an experiment. I'm sure
this is Wallace's. Like,
I think replicants
like a baby.
I think most replicants are probably just like factory lines, automated, just pumping them out. But this is him trying to make good angels, as he calls them, baby making angels. But she doesn't work, so he gives her a kiss and then kills her.
Yeah,
he sucks. He's mean. And then you cut to his number one angel is love, and she's like, "That'll never happen to me."
Because I have a name.
Oh, and here's the motorbike comes back. I fucking really like that sound though. So I guess Hans Zimmer didn't do a bad job. It's definitely there's a lot of music and sound in it that's really memorable. I just wanted something a little bit more synthy. And Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, is not super synthy either, but it is very much like made with synthesizers. Yeah. But there's there's a song that sounds kind of bluesy, one that's kind of jazzy, but it's still synth. Oh yeah, this now Kay's outside eating noodles.
And then we learn that there's like another
like a replicant resistance,
another replicant element that's
something's going on.
Hey, go check out this guy that I oft drags.
They're like, yeah, go talk to the guy in the green jacket, and I was like, I guess that's green. It's like olive green.
You got colorblind. Were you colorblind?
I don't think so. I'm actually usually pretty good at, you can take like the gradient tests.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good at determining colors, but maybe it's just the lighting. It looks kind of like gray most of the time.
Yeah.
They speak to each other in Finnish because the actress is Finnish, so they're like, yeah, street speak. Which languages can you speak? You do Finnish.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of street speak in this movie.
Nah.
Kind of missed it.
So he's
although Gap throws him in at one point when he has his interview.
Yeah, he speaks in Hungarian again. He says, I wrote it down because it's a really cool word, which it means retired. He says, nudias, or I don't know, it's Hungarian, it means retired. So that's cool. I guess
Edward James... dead replicant. When aren't you getting Gosling?
He's retired. Edward James Olmos is just a Hungarian god. So yeah, right now he's blade eating runner. He's a blade eating runner. He's got a knife. And yeah, so these pleasure models come over, and they're like, "Hey, you want to have a good time?" He doesn't like real girls. Yeah. They hear his little contraption. And also,
my note says he doesn't like real girls. He likes real girls.
Also, so here's a little bit of evidence for her having her own agency.
She interrupts when that happens?
Yeah, because she's jealous.
But I feel like if you're programming artificial intelligence to be a companion model, wouldn't you program jealousy? That's the other thing.
Well,
Like,
here's the
what do you
thing.
what are you programming into it? I don't
Well,
know.
why would you want to program it for the user to possibly have negative feelings about the product?
Well, you
So
want.
this is supposed. You would think they were marketing it to desperate men, which they seemingly are.
Mm.
A desperate man has a chance to sleep with a woman. He doesn't necessarily know it's a hooker yet or whatever, and the program interrupts that and chases her off. Do you think he's gonna feel very happy about the product?
Well, if you're trying to cultivate a loving relationship between you and the product, then yeah, his
I guess
loyalty would be to the product,
I guess if
right?
he has another
And
option,
you don't want him to find love somewhere else. You want him to continue to be with the product, right? And continue to buy additional enhancements and expensive add-on parts for the product. You
I
gotta buy all
guess.
these modifications for your joy.
I don't know. To me, it just seems more like she decided she needed to stop that.
But then later on, she inhabits that same prostitute to have lady sex with him.
Yeah, but that's specifically so she can experience closeness with him.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like why pick that girl if you're jealous of her?
Well, specifically why she said because she could tell that he liked her.
But then why does she care? I don't know. I just feel like
So it'll be enjoyable for experience for him. I don't. There's something there, man.
I don't disagree. I just don't think it's as clear cut. I think it goes either way, and there's plenty of evidence that she is a product and is influencing his behaviors to to benefit Wallace, the Wallace Corporation, not necessarily Wallace personally.
Well, I guess we'll see because I have more evidence coming up later on. But yeah, but she's like, all right, whatever. I don't care. Uh, he's doing Batman stuff now, detective work, and he's like, hmm. So he decides to go back to the scene of the crime with Morton Sapper.
Well, first doesn't he go to he goes to Deckard's old apartment and plays the piano, and there's a dead key.
No, that's at Sapper's.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a dead key, and he's like, huh. Opens up the piano. There's a little tin in there that's got a photo, and he's like, huh, it's that tree and some people. And then he goes to see what's up with the tree, and he finds 61021.
And he freaks the fuck out.
Presumably when Rachel dies. But yeah, he freaks out because he has a memory of having a horse with the same date on it, a wooden horse. And yeah, so then we get to see that memory. He's a young boy running through the factory. All the other boys have shaved heads, but he's got long hair for some reason. But they want to steal his horse, and he's like, fuck that. He hides it in the foundry, even though he's very scared. And presumably he gets beat up after that, but at least he saved the horse. And you're like, oh man, sad Agent K, who had long hair, and all the other boys had shaved heads.
I mean, they basically tell you at one point.
Yeah, it's choreographed. Yeah, my note says, has hair, boys don't, and we're going to see in a second when he actually goes to the orphanage to reinforce that. But, yeah, so he gets a call from the madam. She's like, hey, what you doing, daddy? Because, it's like, oh, she likes him. But it's Ryan Gosling, I get it.
At some point in here, Love breaks into the police station, kills poor Coco by pushing his spine through the front of his face.
Yeah, she, sends his spine through the front of his body or something. It's terrifying how he does.
Yeah, and she steals Rachel's bones.
Yeah, she's like, don't worry, I've got all the shit here that you need. Here, take a look. Here's the document, and then punches him in the back of the neck, and he just collapses. Yeah, Love's pretty intense. So now Ryan Gosling's back at somewhere at the police station, or no, he's going through some record machine it's in Japanese. Yeah. I was like, this is a parallel to that enhancement thing, but luckily not as bad. There's going to be another one later on, too.
Yeah, that's right. They're not much longer.
Yeah. But
this one has some exposition in it, at least.
Yeah, this machine, it sounds like it's speaking Japanese.
Yeah, I think it is.
And, so he's going through birth records, DNA records, and he finds two that have the exact same DNA. And he's like, well, that shit's not possible. One of these kids is fake.
The girl died. The boy was in. They both went through the same orphanage. Girl died. The boy just disappears.
Yeah, and so at this point, Ryan Gosling's starting to get an idea. Maybe
I'm the boy.
Maybe this has something to do with him. Joy's encouraging him a little bit. She's like, "It's okay to dream a little." He mentions Galatian syndrome, which I don't know what that is. I was gonna look it up. I feel like it might be made up since it's you got a religious name, just like Methuselah syndrome in the first one. Anyways, we finally get to see the giant ass seawall that surrounds Los Angeles since they built all the way up to the coast, and also presumably because of climate change.
Yep.
Yeah. He's going to San Diego, and it fucking sucks there now.
Yo, man.
It looks like Trash World.
Yeah, mine says shots fired from Junkertown.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face back here, Mako.
But I can't imagine the people of San Diego letting it turn into that without a fight.
I don't know, shit. Well, they got a lot of junk to look through, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
They get him with this EMP kite gun, which is really cool. It's just like, I cannot believe someone made that shot.
Right?
But it's like, alright, they got him. So it's like a spear gun that attaches to his flying car. A kite comes out of it, it catches the lightning, shuts his shit down. Like, it's dope, but it's crazy.
Must be a replicant.
I just like how unaffected Ryan Gosling plays this scene as he's crashing. He's just kind of like, he's getting, the G-force is getting to him, but he's still just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, well, what are you fucking gonna do?
Well, he's also a replicant, so he's like, eh. But that's what I mean, it's just cool that he's like, whatever, I'm a replicant. They crash, he is knocked out because replicants are biological beings, so his brain got sloshed a little. And Joy tries to wake him up to protect him. But I guess to protect him so they can sell more products. But it's weird that if it's not something that the user can be conscious of, that the AI would attempt it and possibly risk damage to itself.
But I mean, yeah, she's also protecting herself because she doesn't want to be destroyed, right? And if he gets pulled from the car and those guys steal the emitter from his pocket, I mean, that's it for her.
No, she's not stuck with the emitter yet, though.
I mean, I guess that's true, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's still, like, that's her owner, that's her livelihood. And I mean, there's plenty of things that your phone, your not AI, but your phone does that you're not aware of. Like, it will send you certain notifications when the room is quieter versus when it's louder. Stuff like that.
Interesting.
Again, my point is that I don't think it's you're supposed to question whether or not she can have these feelings or not, and it's not as clear cut that she is capable of, being a true person.
Individual.
Yeah, individual. Not a human, but you know what I mean? Like what we would recognize as a non-human person.
Yeah.
Like a dolphin.
Non-human yeah, I guess, yeah, we do recognize dolphins and orcas and stuff.
Some countries do not.
Yeah.
But
Oh, we don't?
I don't think we do.
I don't think Finland or Japan does.
Certainly not Wales.
Hey. So he's fucking replicant strong, though, so he just beats the shit out of a bunch of people.
Yeah, WWE backbreakers.
Yeah, and then Love is also monitoring him.
Yeah. Because she has his tracking from Joy.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a problem.
And he's got some rods from God coming.
Yeah, she's just shooting shit out of space.
At this point, why doesn't Gosling, the detective, be like, what the fuck? Why did I just get saved?
I think he probably knows something's up.
I mean, he does. And he looks up and he sees like the floating platform, but he doesn't question it doesn't seem like.
I just like that Love is just sitting there getting her nails done and like fucking blow that
fire again.
Yeah.
Again.
She's tough, man. I like her. Got a little crush on that fucking sadistic replicant. But he gets he arrives at the Apple factory.
Mine just says a modern group home.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he's making them put together like electronics and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I picture group. I mean, you think group homes are.
Do they have for-profit group homes and stuff?
A lot of those group homes would feel like they're for-profit.
Okay, yeah, then they're putting shit together.
I mean, I don't think they have like recycling materials, but you get money from the government for houses
to do
kids,
stuff. Yeah. Well, he's like, so you want to buy some kids? It's the dude from Walking Dead. But he's like, well, you here to buy some kids? And he's like, nah, I'm a Blade Runner.
He's like, aw, damn.
But he just wants to see the records, though, which my thing is, why does he keep these long-ass records about adoptions? He doesn't care about these kids. Why does he need the records?
I don't know. I guess maybe it's a
maybe
law.
It's
he doesn't want to get
or
screwed.
It's like some compulsive thing. Yes.
I did like the touch of
they're all handwritten and shit.
All these kids are recycling old like rare earth metals from like destroyed computers.
Yeah, they're just doing Detroit type stuff
because that's what people are gonna be doing. I mean, we've already started.
People still copper piping. And people already do that shit.
But as we still keep building phones and computers that need these elements, but we can't keep pulling them out of the ground, that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, and then as you see here at the orphanage, the boys and girls are segregated. All the boys have their heads shaved, and the girls don't.
It's weird.
So Agent K is secretly a woman.
We don't ever see his peeps.
Yeah.
Or her peeps.
Someone snatched the adoption records for the time period he needs.
Yeah.
They
Well, that's weird.
Well,
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him, no. And we fucking never really know who did it. He just sees some cigarettes in an ashtray, right?
Yeah, but I mean, those you have to assume those have been there for a while.
Like they were taken by Sapper Morton.
Yeah, I assume that the records have been gone for a very long time.
I was hoping they were gonna have something to allude to the fact that Gaff had done it. I thought that'd be interesting.
Oh,
Like if there's an origami like matchman
That would've
in
been
the
cool,
ashtray.
but,
And stuff.
yeah.
But
but why would Gaff help out? I mean, Gaff is
he helped out at the didn't help out, but
Gaff helped out. Didn't do it. Didn't do
Well,
any
what he
actual
did,
help.
he didn't
just
do
let
anything.
him go.
He didn't do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gaff doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd just be cool because I like Gaff. And then the dude runs away because he's like, I didn't do that, and he's worried Gosling's gonna kill him because he already fucking punched him in the face real hard with this gun. So Gosling's like, well, I'll check out this familiar spooky furnace, and this is the first time I saw it in theaters. As he's going to open the furnace grating to get the horse, there's this crazy like industrial bass noise. It's just like, wow, it scared me.
There's a lot of weird bass noises in this.
Yeah. He's like, oh shit, I'm a real boy.
Hey, he freaks out when he gets it.
So after this, Joy tells him, hey, you know what? You need a name. You can't just be serial number.
You're a real average Joe.
What about Joe? Joe.
My notes actually say she's programmed to tell you that you're a real boy.
You're a real boy. But
there's a Pinocchio element to this whole movie.
Yeah, it's Pinocchio Story by Kanye West.
No, if Kanye West did Pinocchio Story, it'd be way weirder than this.
Kanye West has a song called Pinocchio Story. Well, who makes the memories for replicants? I should probably figure that out. Who makes the memories for Wallace? And so he goes to meet her, and she's basically like in Fallout or a Skyrim modder. Modified shit.
She's a bubble boy. She's John Travolta.
Yeah, she's got some disease, possibly Galatian syndrome that they mentioned. I don't know. But yeah, she's got a compromised immune system, so she couldn't go off road with her family.
Or that's what they told her.
Conveniently,
yeah.
She's one of the like fucking craziest, best acted, most interesting side characters I've ever seen in a movie. Like she just basically shows up for this scene and one other. And it's just like, holy shit.
When she first showed up, I'm like, oh shit, it's our Sebastian.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But no, she's just like so interesting. I don't know, and she's like showing him how she makes memories, and it's like one of the coolest effect shots in the movie.
Right.
And she's
explaining
and then we
how
learn
it's illegal to use real memories.
Yeah.
There's a part when I guess we're about to get to it right now, where Gosling's like, all right, I'm going to show you a memory. You got to tell me if it's real or not.
Yeah.
And she starts crying afterwards because, obviously, as we know, it's her memory.
She says, someone lived this.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck! And he gets so angry because he's like, damn it, they're going to kill me.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. She starts crying and gets kind of upset. And my feeling is like, she's like, oh shit, he's here because he knows that I use real memories and I'm about to die.
Oh. No, I think... that hasn't ever been my thought when I watched it. I'm not saying you're wrong. This is just, my interpretation was, so first of all, she knows it's her memory, so she's reliving a traumatic memory too, because you've heard how Kay described it too as Matt.
Right, it's really traumatic.
It's,
I guess to me it's both parts.
But then also I think she realizes, oh, I put this memory in him. He thinks it is him. Like, she can tell that it's having, like, a huge emotional effect on him. Like, something's
wrong. But then why would she tell him that it's a real memory?
Well, yeah, I guess maybe she doesn't want it to be... Yeah, because she says someone lived this. You'd think she'd be like, oh yeah, this is my memory, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But
someone lived this.
Someone lived this. But, man, it's cool seeing that. I really like it.
Yeah, it's really well seen.
Well acted.
I guess the whole movie is really well done.
Yeah.
I have some very minor problems with it, but...
oh man, unfortunately the cops are there to get Kay, because they're like, what the fuck you been doing, man?
Yeah, where you been? You're off the reservation.
And then this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie when they do the
Void Call Part 2.
The new one where he's like totally off baseline and the dude's like getting angrier and angrier and it's getting fucking intense. And then there's like a short little pause and it's like, you're not even close to baseline.
Yeah. Well, also at the same time, like I feel like, go ahead, fight him.
So they bring him into the madam. She's got a little crush on him anyways,
Yeah.
so she's not gonna just outright kill him. And I think he's also like, it's done. Like, the kid's gone.
Yeah, it was
Which
a real
is
nice.
kind of true, but he also is lying, which replicants aren't supposed to do.
Yeah, right. He's clearly way out of baseline.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not supposed to lie, but we also saw that Love lied to Coco, right?
Yeah, but also, just like Rachel, she's not. Love isn't programmed like a normal replicant.
I guess
Wallace's like right hand man.
My point to this too is replicants aren't programmed as well as that they're supposed to be. There are all kinds of
There's variations,
examples
yeah.
of replicants going off the reservation and going crazy.
Well, that's because they have human memories. They basically are human,
but they only have 4 years to pick up their.
Well, these ones have regular lifespans.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, at the beginning, these new models have regular lifespans because that.
But I mean,
that was dumb anyways. I mean, it was the impetus for the plot of the first Blade Runner. But why would you design like super powerful slaves that can only live for 4 years? So you just gotta keep buying new ones.
Because they go crazy after 4 years and start
planned obsolescence, huh?
Yeah, they learn from Apple.
Yeah. She's like, all right, well, I can give you like a day.
I thought it was a really nice touch or really smart of Kay because he already laid the groundwork that it's going to be weird for him to kill something that was born. He's like, I messed up because I killed it.
Yeah, which is good, but she's like, I'll give you like a couple days, but you got to be back to baseline or that's it. And he's like, well, that fucking was not happening. He steps outside now and so he buttons up the part of his jacket to cover his face. And it doesn't look like it's snowfall. It looks like it's just like ash or something.
Yeah.
So like something's wrong with the environment. They don't go into it further, but I just thought that was an interesting touch.
Well, I mean, they don't really explain like the blackout or necessarily anything necessarily either. They just kind of give hints that there's some shit going on.
Yeah.
Shit that's going on.
Which is good. I like when movies do that. I don't need to know exactly every detail of where we came to be.
As long as you know the details, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but he comes home and he's like, shit, we're gonna really need to skedaddle. But whoa, shit, Joy made an independent choice.
Did she?
She invited over the prostitute lady, and she's like, we're gonna synchronize so I can have a romantic experience with Kay. Virgin Kay. You know he's never had sex before.
You don't know that.
This poor replicant. Yeah, and then we have another one of the cool scenes in the movie. I like how tastefully it's done. Also, what's cool about it is they basically just filmed the scene twice with both actresses and kind of just overlaid them. Cool. So it's not even a crazy effect or anything. Yeah. It's just really well done. And I don't know, man. It's romantic. Maybe I just bought into the romance of it too much for her, but I really do think, like, she's... I don't know, it fits with the theme of the movie to me, from my interpretation of the movie, that she is self-aware and developing her own individuality and agency. Sure. Like, she does actually love him as much as she possibly can. Like you said, yeah, she just lists off song facts. She might be selling products to him still, but I do think there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's true. You're supposed to think the potential's there. I just don't know if I believe it 100%. I'm just cynical to the point where, like, I believe a replicant because they are essentially human still. Yeah, could be a person, but because this is an artificial intelligence which is sold as a product from another company, that I have difficulty ever seeing it as something other than a product. I guess I see where you're coming from. I don't know. I'm just more optimistic. Especially because it's not very shortly after this we get the giant hologram droid, and she's like, "Hey, Joe, you're a real sexy guy." Yeah, but you're real special, Joe. It's a totally different. Like, to me, it's like completely different. Yeah, because it's a generic Joy versus the Joy that's been personalized. That's true. But the pleasure model, her name's Mariette, similar to Marionette, which I always thought was cool. Mm-hmm. But she's also, we know she's a secret agent. Yeah, she's part of the Resistance. But she puts the tracker on him. And then she puts her boots on with no socks. Ugh, girls getting all sweaty feet. She's got smelly feet. Luckily, Joy notices this, and she's like, "You need to get out of here with those smelly ass feet." Also, she says, "I'm straight up done with you." And then this is the racism integration moment. I've been inside of you. Yeah, there's not that much there. Well, I think she's talking down to him as she did previously, like, "Oh, you're AI. You're not the same as me. I'm better than you. Humans are better than me. Maybe someday I can be as good as humans if I kick shit down at AI, just like how the Irish moved up in society, the Jews moved up in society. You just kick shit down, and I feel like that's the purpose of that scene. Well, I also think this is
and
like,
to question the legitimacy of joy.
yeah, I also think this is the what drives Joy to be like, all right,
I want to be like a real girl.
Yeah, I want to be like a real girl.
Yeah. And yeah, so she does. She's like, fuck it. Like, breaks the Tana off, just store my...
And then this is the point where like, oh shit, like you really shouldn't carry around a product from Wallace Corporation in your fucking pocket all the time.
Yeah. But
which is the same thing that there's a phone in my pocket, and I'm sure Apple can listen to everything I'm saying right
So
now.
do you think she decided she doesn't want to preserve herself as a product? She's fine. She wants to die like a real girl to be with him. To use... What do you think? How do you interpret that?
I guess we don't get enough of Joy after this for me to say 100% or another, because if 2 days from now she's like, oh, you also need to buy the latest emitter from me, I'm like, well, fuck you. There's not enough.
I don't know
for me to say one or the other. This is the biggest sign to me that she is capable of being a person.
Yeah. Well, my thing with it is mortality is a major element in both Blade Runners, and how that mortality signifies humanity to a certain extent. And I feel like maybe this isn't explicitly stated in the movie, not through her actions or anything, but based on the themes of this movie and how it's presented to me, I feel like her making the choice to become mortal, essentially, is like fucking the best evidence you're gonna get. Like, they're throwing up a flag, like, yeah, she's self-aware. She's not just a program. She's not just a product that...
But the other question too is like, would a product care if it didn't exist anymore?
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's more to it. I'm just of the camp that for sure, like, there's not something special about maybe his Joy specifically, but the program, artificial intelligence.
I guess they're trying to parallel like the replicants' artificial intelligence. Yeah. But I get that, and I just say, to me, it's this. I just don't have enough. I don't see enough of Joy to say one way or the other, and it since it's not like the biggest focus of the movie, it does not. I guess it's not something I focus on.
Yeah, it's definitely like the... It's
just something
that plot.
I feel like it's something to make you parallel and to really try to think about how replicants and are replicants human or replicants people, that kind of thing. I don't. It just doesn't seem like it seems like it's something to drive the main plot forward, or make you think about the main plot in a different way.
I don't think it even drives the plot. The philosophical question of it, that's in there as one of the themes of the movie. All it does to drive the plot is it's a love interest for Kay, sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
If you look at the basic,
right? I'm trying to plot in the right phrase. It's just to highlight the philosophical questions of the movie.
Of the movies,
right? And I guess to me they spend a little too much time with Gosling and Joy. I don't need as much of the romance part, because I get it. Gosling is looking for something, and Joy fills that void. Joy might be capable of being a real person, and might not be, but we're supposed to look at her the same way we look at the replicants.
Yeah. And to me, the replicants are just human, and to me, there's like no question like, I don't question their humanity at all. Like, those are just humans, And for the AI, it's the same thing. Like, if it gets to the point where it sees itself as an individual, then it's a non-human person,
I guess I just need.
I need to see more from Joy,
because there's too much of like, Joy's a product, and you're gonna buy her.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, so a lot of people... Well, we'll get to it when we get there. He's going to Vegas now. He's fucking gotta find Deckard. So...
First, there's some street science.
Hell yeah, he scans this horsey. Just like in the first one, remember, he scans the scales?
Yeah, street science.
Yeah, street science. And it's the dude from... I'm the captain now. That cool-ass dude.
I am the scientist now.
And he scans it. Apparently, this horse is worth a lot of money because of the wood it's made of. Yeah. He's like, I give you a goat, man. Fucking look at all this cool shit. Also, like, all this, and he's like, nah, I guess I need it. But the wood...
Enhance again.
The wood has so much radiation in it. It could have only come from one place, which is apparently super irradiated Las Vegas. Which
I played Fallout New Vegas. Yeah. It's accurate.
They didn't go into any detail about why that's the case, but probably a bomb got dropped on it.
Do they you've only seen the blackout one, huh? The short films?
No, I watched all three of them at one point when it first came out, but I don't remember the details of some of the other ones. Whatever. Yeah, and the Las Vegas thing, I don't think is involved in any of them. But so he's like, I know, I'll go to Vegas now. And this is another reference to the long picture scan, I think, where he's got his drone out and he's like, enhance, go left. But luckily this one's only like a minute instead of like 6 minutes. Yeah, and then fucking this is Love's best scene in the movie. Well, I'm no, she's got some cooler scenes.
Her and Robin, right?
Yeah, like fucking. So she like really loves Kay. She's got a weird obsession with him, which I get it. It's Ryan Gosling. I wish she was obsessed with me because she's like so scary, sexy, and cool in this movie. I don't know why I like her so much.
Oh, you got very close to TLC album.
Crazy, sexy, cool. Yeah, she is crazy, sexy, cool. But she's just like, I'm gonna tell Wallace you shot first. I had to kill you, and she's like getting crazy. But she's got
like, I mean, does that work on it when you're fucking killing the chief of police? Like, oh, she shot first, so I had to kill
also,
her.
I don't picture why Wallace would care.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't seem the kind of dude that matters to him.
But she has this one line that she delivers. Like, I just fucking love the way she delivers this line. She's like, "You're so sure," and she's like going, she's like so angry about it, and then I don't know, it's just cool the way she says the line. And then this shot too where the camera moves outside when she kills her, and so there's like no sound. You just see the ash of the snow falling, and she gets cut and falls, and then she just uses her face to scan the computer and then drops that shit. I like Robin Wright's face bouncing off the table. I mean, not specifically the violence of it, but it's just so like cavalier. And then I guess, presumably all the cops can track all the replicant Blade Runners.
Well, I assume they just have a tracker device in his car.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, so Love's coming with I don't know, some random dudes. Wallace probably got a lot of thugs. Yeah. He has everything off world that he needs to make Deckard talk. So amazing environmental shots of Gosling walking through Vegas. They got some giant erotic statues. Everything's orange. He finds some bees.
Because Deckard is on the fucking Sherlock Holmes retirement plan. That's some straight up detective shit right there.
Yeah. He lives in...
All detectives retire and grow and raise bees. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. He also lives in like one of the coolest sets of all time.
Yeah.
Everything's got like this orange gold hue because of the environment, but also because the hotel he's in has just got gold themes. And fucking, holy shit, it's Han Solo. Han Solo's here. What's he doing here? And obviously Deckard's like, a Blade Runner came for me.
Yeah.
I need to fucking kill
He's
this.
like, old man punches.
Yeah. Well, first he's like shooting at him. Gosling's like, fuck this, jumps over a railing, getting chased around, avoiding traps. And then another amazing scene, they're fighting in like that lounge room with the hologram Elvis that keeps cutting in and out. And it's so fucking dope.
I mean, I just imagine Deckard every night, like with a bottle of bourbon, watching Elvis Presley sing every night.
Well, he's like, I like this song when they stop fighting. There's a scene in here where Harrison Ford actually accidentally punched Ryan Gosling. You can see it because he's kind of like... but yeah, so they fight. Harrison Ford is going crazy doing old man punches. Maybe he is a replicant because he is beating the flesh off of Kay a little bit. Kay's not fighting back though. Yeah,
well, I don't know. If Deckard's a replicant, he's not a very strong replicant because he shows no... Yeah. In either movie, he's shown no ability to be stronger than a regular human.
No, not like Roy putting his head through the wall and Kay coming up. So yeah, Deckard gives up. He's like, well, he's not fighting back, and
you want a drink?
I'm getting tired, so it's like, let's go have a drink. He's got a dog. Called back to the first movie. Kay asked if it's real or not, because animals don't really exist. Harrison Ford's got a snappy Harrison Ford answer.
That's the one thing that Deckard seems to change. I mean, obviously it's been 30 years, so Deckard could have changed, but he doesn't seem like the same Deckard we knew in 2019.
No, he just seems like fucking funny ass old Harrison Ford,
right?
Which is fine. That's like good Harrison Ford.
And also, I'll solve the riddle right now. That's not a real dog. Because there's no way a real dog is going to sit there silently and watch Deckard, his master, get carted off by a bunch of thugs and not do anything.
Yeah. Also, he loves whiskey.
Real dogs aren't supposed to drink that.
No. Yeah, so fucking Kay desperately wants to know Rachel's name. He's like, I didn't take you for one for bullshit. What's her name?
Deckard's the final boss.
I mean, he talks about it to him. He's like, it wasn't part of the plan. I was supposed to dip out. Sometimes you love someone, you gotta leave them, make sure they're safe.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it all kind of makes sense. Like, they probably knew, like,
this kid's gonna be hunted forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, the plan makes sense. Kay's got to think about it for a while, though. And he sees a lot of wood carvings that match the horse. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is Harrison Ford seems to have taken up wood carving animals in his retirement, sort of like Edward James Olmos is always doing origami animals.
Again, we talked about this in the original Blade Runner, but a lot of the replicants, at least in the first Blade Runner, had like some weird obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's his face in his photographs.
Roy in killing people.
Yeah, I guess.
Running around in his underwear.
Being weird.
Yeah.
Holding doves.
Where'd you get that dove? So yeah, Ryan Gosling's kind of chilling now. Joy's out. She's in her sweaty jacket again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, she's getting so sweaty.
Especially here in Vegas.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
the
it's
dog's
any
just.
cooler.
I like the dog's just like watching Kay like chill. The dog's like, and then walks away. But fuck, Joy or Love's here. A little scanner goes beep beep, and Harrison Ford's like, ah shit, my old equipment says that you're a dick.
My notes are like, Love's here to be the second weirdest person in the movie.
Who's number one?
Wallace.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't. I feel like she kind of overtakes number one.
I don't know. There's parts of him and Decker that I'm like, you're a real creepo.
Yeah. So they're gonna get him. Harrison Ford's like doesn't know exactly what's going on, but he's like, "Fuck this, I'm running." And Kay's like, "Oh, I guess like I gotta keep him safe." I'm not sure why his motivation is, but like
he's still like, I think he's my dad.
Well, yeah. Also, he might need more information, but yeah, he's gonna keep him safe. But it's all, I like how it's shot where Harrison Ford is just straight up running, like he's running from Kay and from whatever's happening, you know, because he's like, I don't know about this kid, and like Kay's like running after him to protect him, but it does look like he could just be like, all right, I'm gonna kill you now, old man. And this is one of the coolest like action scenes in the movie. It's just a small little thing, but Harrison Ford closes this big ass like iron door and locks it to keep Kay out, and Kay just runs like right through the cement wall and grabs him. Fucking these replicants are tough. And yeah, just like most of the fight scenes, I like how just short and visceral and like casual it is. Like he just runs through the wall and grabs them, and it's like, no big deal. Other movies it would have been like slow motion. There would have been like effect sting, you know.
Yeah. There would have been like a horse for a certain Ford rolled a little bit when he just goes to grab them. And
no, it's
like Dutch angle right here.
Yeah, that shit's dumb. Like no, just let action happen as it happens. That's the best way to film it, I think. Yeah, but fucking a missile shoots his car and blows him up. Kay's got like rebarb in him, and he's like, "Oh fuck, pretty hurt. Love is too tough." She just like.
Well, I mean, he's got some rebarb though. It's not his fault.
Yeah. So first, the Harrison Ford's kind of concussed, but two guys grab him. He's like, "Fuck that, old man strength." He's fighting him. He does get overpowered because is like 65. You know,
can't fight. Apparently not a replicant.
Can't fight two guys.
We'll find out, or will we?
But Kay's like, fuck this, I am a replicant. He does some crazy ass shit. He's shooting guys with their own guns, breaking their arms. But then Love comes out and she's like, yeah, right, take some kicks. She kills Joy.
Yeah, Joy's like, ah.
But no, last thing she does is tell him that she loves him. Mm-hmm. Instead of like, no, don't do this.
So but if it's an AI program to just be to love someone, right? Isn't that what it would say?
I guess, but I don't know. I think she loves Kay. And he's pretty sad. He's like, oh man. They leave Kay to die, as you would. Like, he'll just bleed to death, you dummy. Joy's like, or Love's like, fucking I did it. I'm the best.
Her weird obsession with Kay seems to have ended, though.
I don't know, like, because it's like some sort of like competition. Also, want to kiss you but stab you, sort of thing. Because I don't know what memories Lost put in there, but it made her pretty crazy. Unfortunately for Kay, though, some spookums show up. We're like, who are these guys?
It's the Resistance.
Spookums. Yeah, it is the Resistance, and we meet Old One Eye, Freysha, and she took out her right eye because that's the replicant eye, which is pretty badass. Like, I feel like it'd be cool if everyone in the Resistance just did that right eye.
But then it's kind of obvious who's in the Resistance, isn't it?
They just all had the same accident. Everyone was looking to the left when a bomb went off. Yeah, and this is where she's like, Sapper let you kill him. Because he would have fucked you up. Well, because I think he's specifically like a military fighting replicant.
No, he was a combat medic, I think. That was his job.
They made him that big? He's body slamming people to make him healthy, maybe?
I feel like that's like her, like, yeah, he would have fucked you up. Like, at the same time, like, Gosling is a more
advanced replicant.
Replicant. let's slow your rolls here,
Let's
lady.
give him a little credit.
She's
okay?
a little high on herself in this scene.
She is really condescending.
Yeah, she's like super condescending.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna be the leader of the resistance. When I show them this child, everything will change.
Yeah.
And what if the child doesn't want to be shown?
Yeah,
You dumb piece
and also
of shit?
she's saying, "Oh, you gotta dying for the right cause is
Like,
the
I
most
don't think
human thing." Blah, blah.
Was this Deckard's and Rachel's plan to have their child become like some resistance? No. Yeah, so like fuck this woman.
But we're about to see just how human and true Kay is.
Yeah,
because he makes the right choice.
Right.
He dies
kill Deckard.
He dies for a right cause, the right cause. But yeah, she says, "Dying for the right cause is the most human thing you can do. Go kill Deckard." And he's like,
he's like, that doesn't sound right.
So this is where Wallace gets real weird.
Yeah, Creepwad's back.
He's like, "Welcome to my chill ass room," which I would love to just hang out in that room. It's got water and it's all reflecty and stuff.
The color's a little different.
All the weird gold.
I like a
wood,
a more warmer tone.
And he's like, "Hey, and this is where it's obvious Wallace did know about Rachel and a bunch of stuff."
"Are you sure that you weren't designed to have that infatuation?"
Oh yeah, but is he replicant? Is he not?
He's like, Decker's like, "I know it's real, you dumb, stupid son of a bitch."
Yeah, but then he turns it into like a philosophical question, as if, oh, maybe you were mathematically destined to do it because the universe runs on a math equation that never really ends, and whatever inspired our creation. The Monster song.
Yeah, I would roll my eyes really hard at this one.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just being a goofy, pseudo philosophical tech guy.
I have a question about what kind of replicant Wallace is supposed to be. It seems like he's the one kind of replicant that Blade Runner should be retiring.
He's not a replicant though.
He's not?
Wallace?
Isn't he? What's
No.
in his eyes?
He's just blind. And he has that thing so he can see.
I don't know, I believe he's a replicant.
Oh.
I don't know.
That'd be an interesting twist. No, I think he's supposed to be an actual human. I don't know why they let a replicant start a $1 billion company to make more replicants.
I don't know that they did, is my point.
Oh, maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like there's nothing there to show that he is a replicant, but there's nothing against it, really.
He's just so fucking weird. I mean, he has to be a replicant.
Yeah, then he...
Because even Sebastian, like, is the weirdest person we see in the first movie. Like, I don't... Ugh. This guy's on a whole nother level of weird.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if he's weird as Sebastian with those little, like, dwarfy guys, but no, freaking Wallace.
He made
really
love.
Yeah, he did. Then we hear a recording of a ghost. It's dialogue from the first movie. Where did they get it? Because it's from Tyrell, so he recorded everything.
Well, they had dialogue from the first movie when Gosling first showed up. They did some void contest.
Well, yeah, it's presumably Tyrell recorded everything.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think that's how Wallace knows about everything.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got Tyrell's notes and yeah. And he's like, yeah, so what? And my note here says they're kind of retconning this relationship.
Oh, heavily.
Watching the final cut, I mean, as we talked about in the other podcast, they're not in love. It's like fucking Deckard's a jerk.
Yeah, but Deckard's like, I know what love is.
Yeah, like, do you?
I know what's real. Oh,
he plays off the simplicity of Deckard, and he's like, well, here's a fucking sexy Rachel robot replicant.
Eyes are wrong. Like, at that point, I'm like, fucking gross, Wallace. I'd kill you right now if I was Deckard. Because he's not a replicant, he's just a normal man, and I can kill a guy pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not old ass Harrison Ford.
I know,
he was blind though, and he didn't have his special things.
Harrison Ford was just fighting a replicant.
Yeah, love will straight kill him though.
Yeah. But not before he can kill Wallace is the question.
Yeah, she's got 2 knives. I just that's a fucking risky walk on that like walkway in the
yeah.
It's like, oh my god. This effect's cool too. There's actually a stand-in actress. They actually had the woman that played Rachel on set to mimic.
Shawn Young?
Yeah, Shawn Young, so that the actress they hired to stand in could like mimic her
movements and stuff.
How she walks and stuff like that's really cool. And then yeah, they just superimpose her face, which I think is really great. Because a lot of people are asking Shawn Young when this movie's in production, like if she's gonna be in it. And she's like, no, they haven't said anything to me, blah, blah, blah. But then technically she is, and I like that they were like, instead of just using her likeness, they actually had her on set and let her participate in it and be a part of it. That's classy. But we'll see in a few years when they just start fucking putting.
Oh man, in 10 years you're gonna see Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans as Iron Man and Captain America again. Completely but it won't be either of them actually in it.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, yeah, the comic book movies are gonna be the first to do it because everyone's already just so fine with fucking who cares, man? Make it like a cartoon, nothing in camera, whatever. Who cares? Oh, there's a cool shot here where we see Harrison Ford from the back, like his reverse silhouette, and then it cuts to the same shot of Kay.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, ah, yeah, they're both two men with sad problems. And he sees Joy, the advertisement, but it's like talking all sexy and breathy, like Marilyn Monroe, and it's super sexualized. And he's like, man, that ain't my Joy.
Oh, Joe.
But it does say, you're a good Joe. And a lot of people on the internet this scene were like, yes, he approves that. She was just a program, didn't really love him, blah, blah, blah. And they use that as the, that's his motivation to now go help Deckard rather than kill him.
Oh,
I don't think that has shit to do with it. I think it's more that he's reminded of Joy, and he's even setting aside if she is serving the product, needs the product or herself, just the memories he has of Joy.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: whether or not, to me, the audience, she was real or not, to Officer K, she was.
She was real, yeah, and so that motivates him. He's like, I know what to do. I know what's important.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real boy.
Yeah, he's a real boy. Like it's
okay. It's him finding his moral compass, I guess, or trying to figure out what his moral compass is.
To do the right thing. It's okay to dream a little, and he's gonna do the right thing. And like, at this point, he knows he's not the child of a replicant. He's just a regular replicant. Devastating at first, but basically,
fucking what's her face was real kind of. Oh, you thought it was you?
Oh,
we all thought it was no. Like this motherfucker had some real reasons to think it was
a bunch of evidence. He's a detective, right? But what I like is he realizes he can still do the right thing, even though he's not some prodigal child. Even though he's just some replicant, he can be a good replicant that does the right thing, and it's his choice to do it. So it doesn't matter if he's a special child. He's
Officer K.
He's K. He can do it, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go rescue Deckard instead of killing him. At this point, though, as the watcher, though, you don't know if he's gonna kill Deckard or rescue him. I knew he was gonna rescue him. I'm like, fucking, nah, that wouldn't make sense. We get to go over the seawall. This shit is so intense. It's just like, what it is her eyes weren't right, so Wallace killed the fake Rachel.
Yeah. And
he's like, I have everything I need off-world to make you talk. So presumably he's just gonna torture the shit out of him because it seems like there's no laws like off-world.
Yeah, it's real loose.
So I guess they're flying to presumably a spaceport to fly off.
Don't they show it in the distance?
Yeah,
like it's really close to it when they get taken down.
But they're just getting over the water. It's really badass. It's CG, but it's like, I don't know. You can make CG work for these short bursts, you know. Like this isn't going to be the focus of the conflict. But Kay rolls up, shoots them. They're losing altitude, not going to make it to the spaceport. They got to turn back around. Can't make it over the seawall again, so they just kind of crash on the artificial seawall beach. And then they have fucking one of the best fight scenes of all time.
A lot of choking.
They're like, oh, I can't get it airborne. And Love's like, man, fucking whatever. And she goes to open the door. Kay shoots the driver anyway, so they're done. And she's like, all right, well, it's time to fucking fight. They start shooting at each other. Kay gets shot. Love gets shot. And then they have a fucking knife fight. But unfortunately, she's got a secret second knife. That's the best when she's just like, yeah, right. Stabs him in the stomach. So he's hurt pretty bad. She's swimming back out to, I guess, like, free Deckard because they still need him.
Right. She can't disappoint Mr. Wallace.
Yeah, because the car is slowly drifting out into the ocean. It's filling up. Deckard's drowning because he's, like, chained to the floor and stuff. Kay's not that hurt. He swims out, and yeah, he chokes the shit out of her. And I like this choking scene, not because you
have a weird choking fetish?
No, not because I'm a misogynist. I like violence against women, but I like how fucking angry she is to be losing. Like she's so frustrated that she's getting killed, like underwater, like making herself die faster. But she's just like ah.
That's how I feel like I would feel. I'm like, God damn it!
Especially because after she stabbed him and beat him up, she's like, I'm the best one. And he's like, oh shit. Acting childlike again, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, he's really choking the shit out of her. Enough time to save Deckard.
And there's a moment where Deckard's like, I'm about to be killed.
Yeah, because he presumes, like, well,
he still doesn't
know. Yeah, he still doesn't know. But shit, he saves him, and you find out Ryan Gosling doesn't know how to do the freestyle stroke because he's got like his head up like he's doggy paddling. So that's all right.
Maybe it's a choice because Oscar K doesn't know this one, right?
Yeah, but he saved Deckard. He did the right thing. He achieved his humanity, and he says, "You know what? You are dead. You died out there. Let's go meet your daughter." And Harrison Ford's like, "Oh shit! I didn't even think this could even."
He's like, yeah, because he didn't. After the blackout, there's no way for him to find his daughter.
Yeah, but Kay is a much better detective than he is. He figured it out.
Well, to be fair, I don't know that Deckard had resources that Kay did.
That's true. And then we find out that climate change isn't real because it's snowing in Los Angeles.
To your point, it could be ash.
It looks like snow this time though.
Snow.
But global warming's a myth because how could it snow in Los Angeles if the world was getting warmer?
Oh, Kyle.
Oh, Donald Trump. Yeah, and then Kay's just kind of like, well, I guess I'll die. Having fulfilled, like, not like his life's goal, but he did something meaningful.
He became a real boy.
Yeah, and he's like, good enough.
In a similar way to Rutger Hauer did, I guess. He's very
he saw
Deckard.
Yeah, he saw, like, what it meant, like, what his life was equivalent to, the purpose of himself, and he was fine with it.
The only I have that's a little irks me that the final scene is, like, clearly that Officer K is Officer K dead. I wish it would close with him dying.
Rather than just closing eyes, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, it's also, like, similar to the ending of Drive, where he just closes his eyes in the driver's seat, but then he wakes up at the very end.
Yeah, I just kind of like it, him looking out into the sky and him just slowly dying.
Yeah.
That's a small choice, I guess.
Yeah. And then Harrison Ford walks in, he sees the memory maker. He's like, I'll be with you 1 second, I'm just enjoying the snow, isn't it beautiful? To sort of showcase, like, look at, she's basically in prison, but you can't imprison her mind. And, you know, just a nice little character sting at the very end and make eye contact. And that's it, Blade Runner 2049.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the best movies of all time. I just really fucking love this movie.
I really enjoy it. I still think I like the final cut better than 2049.
You just like Edward James almost in his pimp suit.
Who doesn't? Talking this crazy language, street talks.
Street talk, Korean, German, Hungarian, and Spanish all mixed together in like 2 sentences. It's pretty cool. Man, it's just so fucking good. I think the Oscars were stacked in 2017 against this movie, but
I don't look it up.
To me,
I
this
don't really
is
care anymore.
yeah. This is my best picture of 2017.
What's Blade Runner 2079 going to be like?
I don't think they should make another sequel.
I don't know what they would be about, but I guess
I'm not interested to know more. But having said that, I wasn't interested to know more about Blade Runner's story before this one came out. I was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
With the kind of the breadcrumbs that were left in this movie, I have a feeling that anybody that picks it up, if it's not like the original screenwriter, it's going to be like some weird resistance.
Oh yeah, which is that's not a Blade Runner movie I want to watch. I don't want to see like some guerrilla war, shitty action film set in the Blade Runner universe. Some of those shorts are like the Animatrix guy one, Bad Enough, where it's just like a fucking action anime.
Ugh.
Like doing flips and karate moves and shooting guns. You know what I mean? Like that's not Blade Runner to me.
Yeah, I don't really want to see that in my
Those aren't the aspects I enjoy. I also don't like when they.
And it's also not actually in either of the Blade Runner movies.
Yeah, no. I also like.
It's not an aspect of Blade Runner.
As we said before, I don't like when the lore or the history of sci-fi world is like totally spelled out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, right off the bat, I don't like the shorts because I don't want to delve into like this specific action anime style world building shit. That's not important. World building is cool when it's just set dressing, not when it's like the entire thrust of the narrative you're telling. George R.R. Martin. Denis Villeneuve, one of the best directors working right now. He's making Dune apparently next.
Dune?
Oh yeah, I've never read Dune. Have you?
Yeah, the Spice was Squall.
It's pretty good.
It's been so long. I was probably 17 when I read it. I don't really remember that long.
Oh, yeah, I've never read it
again.
I've been thinking I'll probably read it just because I'll see his movie when it comes out, so I may as well read the book, be a little bit familiar with it. And then luckily it'll be one of those cases where I'm not so ingrained in the book over 2 decades of my life that I'll hate the movie no matter what. Like I can just read it and see the movie and be like, cool, that was cool for what it is.
Not like space vampires.
No. And then Ryan Gosling was in The First Man this year. I talked about that one of the other recent podcasts where he did a good job, but it wasn't like a very good movie. But yeah, so she's good for the people in this movie. Except for Ana de Armas, I don't think she's really done too much aside from this. And then Harrison Ford is basically retired, but he came back for this. You think he's gonna come back for the new Indiana Jones?
I don't know. Probably. I feel like if you throw enough money on Harrison Ford, he'll probably come back. But
Well, that was it. That's Blade Runner 2049. Scale 1 to 10. What do you think?
It's definitely a 10.
Hell yeah. For me, it's like 11.
The scale didn't go that high. You didn't say that.
Yeah, but my scale goes to 11.
Spinal Cat 10.
Why don't you just make 10
louder?
No, but this one goes to 11. Yeah, fuck yeah, that was it. That was the special episode. It's probably going to be like a combined 4-hour experience to listen to Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, but there's a lot to talk about in these movies.
Yeah, we're Space Force.
So
I hope you
Space
enjoyed
Force.
it. This is kind of like, sorry, the Christmas podcast didn't work out.
Yeah, so you get this instead, where we gotta stop watching good movies.
Well, we didn't watch a lot of good movies.
Alright, yeah, this is Space Force. Go to our website, McVenture Productions. My name's Kyle. I think Joy was a real girl. And you don't want to be on the wrong side of history when AI reaches singularity. I guess we won't be alive for that.
Yeah, probably not. I feel like pretty confident in saying, my name is Shawn. And I'm not sure if Joy is a real girl or not, but I lean on the cynical side, and I'm very wary of any product sold by the Wallace Corporation.
Fair enough. Actually, speaking of being on the wrong side of history, even though we're basically already signed off, when Westworld came out, and I was trying to watch it, I was like, man, I don't give a fuck about these robots. Like, I was like, I don't care about anything that's happening because they're robots and they don't remember anyways when they, and then, but which is weird because that's all Blade Runner is about, and I'm definitely on board.
I love Joy.
Yeah, I'm on board with the replicants and the philosophy of it, but for some reason Westworld, I was like, I don't care about these dumb robots. I think it's mostly just because Westworld's not very good.
I have not seen a single episode of it.
Yeah, and just watch Blade Runner 2049 again.
Oh.
And keep listening to Space Force.